This year, I've learned some brutal truths about our careers. Things that we don't talk about enough. After a pretty big year of wins, but tough lessons, as well as a few wake-up calls, to be honest, I'm going to be sharing with you the raw and unfiltered realities of being a working professional and the concept of a career in 2024. Let's get straight into it. I'm going to be sharing 5 truths, an explanation for each, as well as the takeaway or lesson learned from each that you can take into 2025. Truth number 1, there is no perfect job and there is certainly no dream job. The perfect job and dream job only really exists at a certain point in time. It looks so real from a distance, but once you get there, you very quickly realize that there are cracks. Maybe you outgrow it, maybe it doesn't align with who you are anymore, or maybe it's not even what you thought it would be, and that is okay. We've been sold this idea of a dream job or a dream career, but the idea of a dream job is always, and should be in my perspective, a moving target, something that is constantly shaped by your growth and your priorities. We should avoid the idea of a perfect job or dream career being this future ideal state that actually puts us into a place of complacency because we got where we wanted to. The lesson here is that not having the perfect job or a dream job is a sign that you are growing. It is a good thing. Never being content with what you have, but never settling and being complacent with it is a good thing. Stagnation is a lot worse than imperfection, so embracing the fact that what you want today is almost definitely not what you might want tomorrow is okay. Truth number 2, it's just not that serious. Let's be real, most of us are not saving lives, saving humanity, or fighting for justice. While we all make an impact and contribution in our own way, and while your work should matter, it's just not serious enough to ever compromise or sacrifice your health, your well-being, or your relationships. This is a trap that I have fallen into too many times, where I've constantly placed my work and my career over other priorities and aspects of my life. Sometimes when you're overwhelmed, when you're under pressure, when you might be working with difficult people, or you are just in a state of survival, remind yourself, it's just not that serious, unless you're saving lives. On the flip side, I think this perspective is actually incredibly freeing. Not taking it that seriously means you give yourself permission to experiment, to take risks, to pivot, and just to try something new without that fear of failure, because it's just not that serious and you will recover from whatever it is that happens. The takeaway here for me is that this mindset has saved me when I felt crushed by pressure. It reminded me to focus on what actually matters. I'm certainly not saying that this is something to strive for, because we all want to do meaningful and important work, but there are going to be times when you just need to get through, or your career is not your number one priority. Your career is important, but that doesn't mean it has to consume you. Truth number 3, if you don't create leverage for yourself, you will get left behind. If 2024 has taught us anything, it's that job security and employee retention are relics of the past. Layoffs, restructures, and the gig economy have shown us that solely relying on a job is a pretty risky game. If you are not creating leverage, whether that's a personal brand, a side hustle, or new skills, educating yourself, understanding how AI will work in your industry, you are quite literally falling behind every single day. Leverage is your power. Leverage is what gives you options when everything else is uncertain. The lesson for me here is that we all need to start treating our careers like a portfolio, not just a single job. In reality, for most of us, our 9 to 5 is the way we pay our bills. But when you create leverage for yourself, that is how you build the ultimate life that you want. Truth number 4, there is no career-life balance. There are only trade-offs. The idea of a perfect balance is definitely a myth that is sold to us by the Instagram quotes. The truth is that your career and your life will demand different things of you at different times in your life. Some seasons are going to be very career heavy, like when you're in your 20s and possibly even early 30s, when you are chasing a promotion or when you are starting to build your business. But other seasons might focus on your personal priorities, like buying a house or like raising a family, pursuing a passion, or even just taking a career break. The takeaway for me here is that balance is not about splitting both life and work equally. It's about being intentional with what your focus is in your current season of life. and where you want to prioritize. All you need to do is decide what matters the most in this current season, in this current phase, or at this particular time. Double down on it, focus on it with your full intention, and let go of the guilt of everything else. And this is a lesson I'm most definitely still learning as we speak. And last but not least, truth number 5 is that most people are winging it. Basically, no one knows what they're doing. Even the ones who seem like they have it all together, they're most likely figuring it out as they go. Experience definitely helps, but the truth is that most of us are navigating things we haven't done before. We're navigating uncertainty. We are learning on the job, or we are looking to others who have done it to learn from them. We are looking at those who are a few steps ahead of us, and we are most certainly trying to make it look like we know what we are doing. So the takeaway here is to stop letting the so-called imposter syndrome hold you back. If everyone else is winging it and figuring it out, and it looks like they have their shit together, you may as well bet on yourself to do the same. And those are the 5 career truths that I have learned or had to really admit to myself in 2024. The lessons from each of these truths has really changed my perspective on how I view my career, how I approach my career, how I approach work and life and goals. If even one of these resonates with you, take it as a sign to rethink how you are showing up for your career and for your future self. The concept of a career is definitely something that has always sat on a pedestal, but I'm very excited to see how 2025 really breaks down how we think about careers, the working professional, how the gig economy disrupts how people are earning a living today, and how we can go from just thinking about our careers as this single thing that we do to a portfolio of things that we do. Let me know in the comments if any of these resonated with you and what you have learned about your career this year. And if you got this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.